Good evening. Okay. Am I audible clearly? Okay, fine. Chalo. So today we continue with the pollution, that is primary pollutant and the secondary pollutant, and immediately we'll discuss detailed information about the first point, that is air pollution. Okay. Chalo. So in this condition, first of all, we continue with the previous point because last class we already discussed that is different types of the pollutant, and we discussed one point, the type of this pollutant which persists in environment. And inside that, we are talking about this primary pollutant and the secondary pollutant. So in case of this primary pollutant, we already discussed one example, that is DDT, sulfur oxide, nitrogen oxide, and H2S. So these are the all example which is included into DDT. In case of the secondary pollutant, we discussed that is initially primary pollutants are present, and now that primary pollutants undergo the certain reaction, and due to reaction some changes can occur, and due to that changes, now that primary pollutant it is converted into secondary pollutant. And example under the secondary pollutant, that is ozone, O3, and the another one, that is pan. Okay. Now today we are talking with what is the exactly difference between the primary pollutant and the secondary pollutant. Chalo. So here we are talking about exactly what is the difference between first part, primary pollutant, and now this point we compare with the second part, that is secondary pollutant. Primary and the secondary pollutant. Chalo. Now, when we are talking about that is primary and the secondary pollutant, both these are the toxic. Definitely these are the toxic. But in case of this toxicity, if you are talking about primary pollutant, these are the less toxic. These are the less toxic. But the secondary pollutant, these are more toxic. Okay, these are the first point. Number second, when we are talking about such type of this secondary pollutant which is a more toxic, such type of this more toxic, sometimes these are also called as, one second, sometimes these are also called as synergium. Synergium or simply synergism. Both meaning are same. It means that that is more toxic. When we are talking about the primary pollutant, that primary pollutant that does not involve in photochemical reaction. So here I'm just giving the cross, but here I'm writing this point. Such type of the secondary pollutant, such kind of the secondary pollutant, these are involved in photochemical reaction. So we'll discuss in later what is meaning of that photochemical reaction. Okay. So definitely there is a role of secondary pollutant which is involved in photochemical reaction. Okay, so these are the exactly basic, very basic difference between the primary pollutant and the secondary pollutant. So now, after this point, we are start with the first pollution, that is air pollution. Okay, so should I continue with the next one? Air pollution. Should I continue? Hello. Okay, fine. Now, next point we are talking about. Write down the title. First part of pollution, that is air pollution. Air pollution. Okay. Now, if I'm talking about inside this air, how many pollutants are present? So, approximately 10 raised to 12 tons. 10 raised to 12 tons pollutant present in air. These are the pollutant which is present in air. It's very quite value, right? And out of that, 10 raised to 12 tons. If we are talking about which concentration is more, so approximately natural pollutants, these are the more as compared to artificial. And this artificial nothing but we are talking about that is the formation of that pollutant due to human activities. And such kind of this human activity simply we can say that is anthropogenic pollutant. Anthropogenic pollutant. The word anthropogenic pollutant, it means that due to human. Okay, due to human. So next point, if we discuss the exactly concentration, how the pollutant, natural pollutant is present. So approximately 99.95%. These are the natural pollutant which is present in environment, which is present in air, and less, that is 0.05%. These are the pollutant which is because of this human activities. So if we discuss the example in case of this anthropogenic pollutant, you can first of all we can discuss example that is soot. Soot nothing but these are the such type of this black powder. That is black powder which is present in environment. Second example you can uh, discuss about this ash, and the third one that is poisonous gas, poison gas. So these are these few examples, those are the present in air because of these human activities. Natural basically we have so many examples, like first which is a very common and it is involved in the allergic reaction, that is fungal spore and the pollen grains. The most abundant that is pollen grains which is present in atmosphere which is involved in allergic reaction, as well as the second example that is fungal spores, again they are present in air. Now the some amount of this volcanic gaseous, volcanic gas also present in atmosphere, in environment, in air. And sometimes we are talking about that is marshy gas or paddy filled gas. Can you tell me what is the alternate name for the marshy gas or the paddy filled gas? Can you tell me any alternate name for the marshy gas and the paddy filled? Marshy gas, and sometimes we can say paddy filled gas. Which is the example? Biogas. Yes, true. So these are the biogas, nothing but we are talking about that is methane gas. So biogas or methane gas, these are the example of this marshy gas, or we simply say that that is paddy field gas. Common example that is methane gas. One question from marshy gas. And another next example, there is a presence of small size seed. Small size seed. Those are also present in atmosphere. So these are the some example of the pollutant which is present in the air. And if I'm talking about how much concentration, so 10 raised to 12 tons, and out of that tons, 99.95% these are the natural pollutant which is present in environment. Okay, so clear this point? This point is clear? This point is clear? Okay. So next point we are talking about that is source of air pollution. So ये हमने देखे types of pollutant. Now we are talking about what is the exactly different source of air pollution. Okay. So when we are talking about the first source, definitely that is fossil fuel burning. So again, the polluted particles, it is mixed into air because of this fuel burning. Another reason that is industry, definitely, because from the industry so many gases can release like carbon monoxide or nitrogen oxide or H2S, etc. Third example we'll discuss about there is natural pollutant. ये भी these are the also source because just we discussed pollen grains, fungal spores, different gases. So these are the again included into this condition. As well as we are talking about that is aircraft, vehicles, and the most important that is automobile. Automobile. Please highlight this word that is automobile because there is one very common question from the automobile. This automobile, these are the basic source for the two pollution. If I'm talking about this automobile, 80% it is contribution of automobile in air pollution. In air pollution, it has automobiles, it has approximately 80% contribution. And if we discuss the another pollution that is noise pollution, so 75% this automobile also involved in noise pollution. There is one common question from the automobile. So automobile they are involved in the two types of pollution. ये हम बाद में भी discuss करेंगे when we discuss about this noise pollution. So 80% it is involvement in air pollution as well as the 75% involvement is noise pollution also. Okay. So these are the very basic what we say sources for the air pollution. Now we are talking about pollutant which is present in air, which is naturally present or which is released from the automobiles, and again we are talking about some pollutant which is released from the tobacco smoke. Okay, so should I continue with the next point? Should I continue, Hiba? Okay, chalo. Now ये था एक question from this point, from the automobile point. Now we are talking about that is second point, that is air pollutant. Next point, air pollutant. We are taking different types of this air pollutant. So we are talking about first of all air pollutant. This point we compare with the air pollutant which is released from the automobile exhaust. And third, this same point we compare with the tobacco smoke, because smoking also release so many types of this different pollutant. Okay, so first of all we are taking the sequence. This point is very important because we have to discuss from the higher to lower. So always remember there is a very common question which is the first pollutant which is caused any severe effect. So all three types of this air pollutant like air pollutant or the automobile pollutant or the pollutant which is released from the tobacco smoke, very common. There is a presence of carbon monoxide and the carbon monoxide. Okay, so first one which is present in all these are the carbon monoxide which is released which is present in air pollutant, which is again released from the automobile, as well as through tobacco smokes also the carbon monoxide it can release. Now second after this carbon monoxide, that is we are talking about that is sulfur oxide. Now next one that is hydrocarbon. And for the hydrocarbon we are using HC because आगे हमें इसको use होगा. Okay, HC that is hydrocarbon. As well as there is a presence of small particles, and such small particles, these are the nothing but these are called as particulate matter. And the next one, there is a presence of nitrogen oxide, and the last other gases. Okay, so these are the few examples with respect to the air pollutant which is present. And what is the common point between this all? Carbon monoxide, these are the first pollutant which is present in all these three types. Now, second point under this automobile, through automobile just we discuss one component, that is carbon monoxide can release. Second one, HC, that is hydrocarbon can release. Third one, nitrogen oxide can release. So these are the few examples, those are the released through the automobile. And in case of this tobacco smokes, first component, these are the, sorry. So first component, it is always carbon monoxide. Second component, now यहाँ पे reverse होगा, that is nitrogen oxide. And the third in this category, that is carbon hydrocarbon. Okay, so if you see the exactly difference between the automobile and the tobacco, carbon common है, always these are the first, but in case of the second and the third category, it slightly get changed. Okay, so these are some example of this air pollutant which is present in air, and sources are different, and there is a very common question from which is the first. So always remember carbon monoxide, carbon monoxide, carbon monoxide, all these three conditions, these are the very common and the first air pollutant. Clear this point? This point is clear? This point is clear? Okay, Shweta, chalo. Now next point we are talking about, we are taking some important point with respect to particulate matter, because in NEET examination there is some question they ask, what is the size of that particulate matter which is cause diseases or it is harmful to human. So we are talking about next part, that is what is meaning of this particulate matter and what is their effect. Chalo. So write down the title. So first of all, we are talking about, that is particulate matter and its effect. Okay, and its effect. So when we are talking about that is particulate matter, that matter, it should be, maybe these are the present in solid particle, or maybe there is a presence of liquid particle. दोनों भी हो सकते, solid may be there or liquid may be there, right? So now first of all we are talking about what is the exactly size and what is the settling time per day. So if we are talking about, first of all, to differentiate on the basis of the size of this particulate matter. Now in case of the size, if size is greater than 10 mu m, first point, okay, if size is greater than 10 mu m, at that condition it is easily settled down. And if I'm talking about what is the time for the settling, so it can be settled down within 1 day. So we are talking about it easily settled down per day. These are the time for the settling, because size of that particulate matter, these are the comparatively large. So ultimately they can easily settle down. Okay, within 1 day, single 1 day, they can settle down. And why these are the happening? Because size is comparatively large size. Okay. Now next condition, is this any presence of 10 mu m or less than 10 mu m, equal to or the less than. So if we are talking about such size, basically these are the quite small size. And now such type of this condition, for this settle down, it is required the several days. Okay, so we are talking about they can suspend in more days in the air, and that's why if we are talking about what is the exactly settling time when they get settled down. So for the settle down, they require several days because size is comparatively small. So these are the small size. That's why It's required more time to settle down. Okay. Now we continue with the next point, that is if size is small size. उसी को हम continue करें. Just we discuss, is this size, these are the 10 μm or less than 10 μm. Definitely these are the included into this category. But this small size again divided into two types. अगर size greater than 1 μm है, if size it is greater than 1 μm, so in this condition definitely we can say that they may be solid or may be liquid, and at that condition the example which is very common we can say that is dust, and dust basically these are the solid particulate matter, or there is a presence of mist, and mist these are the liquid particulate matter. So when we are talking about greater than 1 μm, we have to take example, that is number one, that is dust भी हो सकता है, or maybe there is a presence of mist also. But when we consider size, these are the less than 1 μm. So it's very small size. And in this condition, simply we can take example, that is formation of smoke. So we'll discuss what is meaning of that smoke. We are not talking about this fog. Fog to normal hota hai, but inside this fog, is this any harmful particulate matter like nitrogen oxide, sulfur oxide, or some water vapor? They get mixed, so it is converted into smoke. So we'll discuss the types of the smoke in after few minutes. Okay, but now these are the exactly difference between the different molecule on the basis of their size. That is, if large size should be considered as greater than 10 μm, small size it should be considered as 10 μm or less than 10 μm. Now we are talking about what is the exactly size which is harmful to human, और यहाँ से question बनेगा. Neat question. So in case of this question part, we are talking about that is one board who control the pollution, means they decide what should be size of that particle which is cause the any harmful effect, or which is does not cause the harmful effect. So we are talking about that is one agency, one board, and the name that is Central Pollution Control Board. That is CPCB. CPCB. Okay, Central Pollution Control Board. This board decided one value, and this board said that if size is less than 2.5, equal or less than 2.5 μm, or in other language, if size is approximately 2.5 μm. Okay, if size less than or equal 2.5 or simply 2.5. So such type of the size of particulate matter, so these are create a harmful effect. These are the harmful to human. So one question which is already asked in NEET examination, what is the size of particulate matter? So remember, the size of this particulate matter is decided if size is 2.5 μm or less than that. So definitely these are create some different diseases. So what kind of these diseases? First of all, we are talking about the reaction. Number one, particulate matter. Size is very small. It causes the inflammation. They damage the lungs. Maybe sometimes there's allergic reaction, irritation, premature death. So many symptoms are there, right? And as well as if there is a continuous exposure of particulate matter. I hope the respiration chapter, lungs, right? So there is a continuously exposure of that particular matter. It will be leads to different lung diseases. Clear? Maybe there is cotton fiber, maybe there, hemp or flax jute fibers may be there, silica may be there. So different particles are, iron particles are there. So all these are be responsible. If there is a continuous exposure, If human inhale that, so ultimately what happen? It will be create pores on the alveolar structure, and finally it's damage the lung and leads to formation of the different diseases which is related to respiratory system. So the Central Pollution Control Board decided one size, and that size it should be when it is get harmful when size is 2.5 μm or equal or less than. Okay. So there's one question from this point. So is this any doubt? Is this any doubt? Hmm? Is this any doubt? Okay. So ये first point था, first size, that is particulate matter, and we'll discuss कि question कहाँ से बनेगा. Okay. Now, the next point we are talking about some interesting example with respect to Taj Mahal and the acid rain. What is the effect of sulfur oxide and the nitrogen oxide? Okay. So second point, second particles we are taking, in second pollutant we are taking difference between the sulfur oxide and the nitrogen oxide. Chalo. So we continue with the part. So please divide your page into two parts. And now we are talking about exactly difference between sulfur oxide and the nitrogen oxide. Okay. So next point we are talking about with respect to difference between the sulfur oxide and the nitrogen oxide. First of all, the first effect because of sulfur oxide. कल भी हमने discuss किया था. Sulfur oxide basically it is remove magnesium from chlorophyll. Remove Mg2 plus. Remove magnesium from the structure of chlorophyll. And we know that chlorophyll basically these are the green in color due to magnesium. But sulfur oxide, it is compete with the magnesium, and now they remove the chlorophyll, and such type of this chlorophyll it is become colorless. So they form colorless chlorophyll. And we know that if chlorophyll, it is not colorful, it is not in green structure, it means that the final effect, that is no photosynthesis, right? And we already discussed this point, lichen basically sulfur oxide, right? So in this condition, we are taking one example, that is lichen, which is sensitive to, which is sensitive to SO2. Okay. So again, we can say that is the lichen, these are the good pollution indicator also. So revise the chapter because the biological classification we already discussed about in detail information, lichen and the mycorrhiza. So now in this condition, definitely they remove the magnesium from the chlorophyll structure. Chlorophyll become colorless, and now if there is a colorless, it means that there is a no photosynthesis. And best example for this, that is lichen, and lichen, these are the sensitive to SO2. Okay. Now ये हो गया first effect, that is who inhibit the photosynthesis. Now in this condition, we are talking about what is the effect of this nitrogen oxide. Definitely in this condition, the effect is same. Now nitrogen oxide, again it will be inhibit the photosynthesis. Photosynthesis, it will be get inhibit. It will be get inhibit. And number second effect, it can inhibit the ETS system. Can you tell me what is the long form of ETS? Can you tell me what is the long form of ETS? What is the long form of ETS? Yes, these are the electron transport system.
Yes.
Yes, so these are the electron transport system.
तू माखीचा तुम्ही माका कळले तर माकी येऊ म्हणतो
Who is speaking? Who is speaking? Okay. So these are the first point with respect to that is difference between the sulfur oxide and the nitrogen oxide. Okay. Now second effect after this first point we are talking about again these are the responsible for acid rain. Okay. So again these are the responsible for acid rain. And the same reason, please write down, I'm giving just tick here. Again, nitrogen oxide also responsible for the acid rain. But there is a value is vary. When we are talking about the contribution of sulfur oxide in acid rain, approximately it is involved in 65%. Okay, so what is the contribution? Contribution is 65%. 65% contribution. But when we compare this point with respect to nitrogen oxide, so 30% contribution in acid rain. So definitely both sulfur oxide and the nitrogen oxide, these are the responsible for the acid rain, but sulfur oxide, it caused the more effect, okay, as compared to nitrogen oxide. So ये second था, and acid rain means what? Basically, if I'm talking about this normal rain, it is having pH approximately 5.6 to 6 pH. But in case of this acid rain, pH is less than 5, less than 5. Okay, and why these are the possible? Because addition of the sulfur oxide and the nitrogen oxide. Yeah, so clear this point. This point is clear. This point is clear, everyone. This point is clear. Okay. So now next point we are talking about how that acid rain it is responsible for what we say, how these are they showing the effect on the Taj Mahal. So next condition we are talking about, that is example in Taj Mahal. Basically what happened when that sulfur oxide it is react with the water. Okay, sulfur oxide it is react with the water, and after this reaction they can form one acid, that is sulfuric acid, H2SO4, right? So they can form one acid, that is sulfuric acid. Now what happened once such type of this sulfuric acid get formed, now that sulfuric acid it is react with the marble. Sulfuric acid, these are react with marble, because Taj Mahal पूरा marble से बना है, right? So it is react with the marble, and the marble nothing but we are talking about, that is CaCO3. These are the marble, right? And now what happened due to such type of this reaction, when such type of this sulfuric acid it is react with marble, that is with calcium carbonate, or we say CaCO3. So now what happened? There is a formation of one component, and that component nothing but we are talking about, that is calcium sulfate. So due to entry of reaction of the sulfuric acid, the CaCO3 it is converted into Ca, that is calcium sulfate. So these are the reaction. ये form हुआ due to sulfuric acid. Okay, now next condition, what happened? Once there is a formation of this calcium sulfate, now this calcium sulfate it is form a stone leprosy. They form a stone leprosy, that is corrosion of marble. Stone leprosy means what? Nothing but these are the also called as the in other language, that is corrosion of marble. And the best example, that is Taj Mahal. Okay, so these are the effect of the acid rain because of sulfur oxide. Sulfur oxide is react with the water, they form the sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid react with the marble, and due to reaction there is a formation of the stone leprosy, and such type of this stone leprosy also called as the corrosion of marble. Clear this point? This point is clear? This point is clear? Okay. Yeah. So next point, we have to continue with the another point with respect to what is the effect of nitrogen oxide. So I'm simply writing the reaction. We are not taking too much detail. Same यहाँ पे reaction होगा because this nitrogen oxide, it is react with the water and now they form the nitric acid. And some condition nitric acid now it is react with the marble, and again it is responsible for the corrosion of the Taj Mahal. So same reaction, so simply we are writing that is the nitrogen oxide reacts with the water and then the formation of this nitric acid. No question on the reaction, kahan se kahan step mein conversion ho raha hai. Maybe there is a question, what is the effect on the Taj Mahal? So definitely the word that is stone leprosy, nothing but there is a peel off that Taj Mahal. It will be create patches on Taj Mahal because due to reaction with marble. Okay, now, so after that second point, we are talking about next one, there is a formation of smoke. इसी point में हम continue कर रहे हैं. Third point with respect to difference between the nitrogen oxide and the sulfur oxide. Okay, so here I'm writing that is there is a presence of this sulfur oxide, and here we are talking about that is nitrogen oxide. In case of this, both the sulfur oxide and the nitrogen oxide, both sulfur and the nitrogen, these are responsible for the formation of the smoke. So both are involved in smoke formation. Smoke formation. Both these are the involved in the smoke formation. But in this condition, first of all, we are talking about what is the exactly difference between the smoke form due to sulfur oxide and due to nitrogen oxide. So what is meaning of this smoke? Initially, there is a presence of fog. Fog present tha, okay? Fog basically these are the some maybe dark fog or maybe opaque fog. But with fog, there is a mixing of smoke. Smoke can mix, dust particle can mix, as well as different gases also mix, as well as there is a mixing of water vapor. Okay, so when all these conditions they mix with each other, now there is a formation of one typical structure that is called as the smoke. In this condition, we are talking about two types of this smoke, that is classical smoke and the photochemical smoke. So when we are talking about, first of all, this smoke which is caused by sulfur oxide, such type of this smoke, these are called as the classical smoke. Classical smoke. And classical smoke also called as the London smoke because first time it is observed in London. So this classical smoke also called as the London smoke because in 1952 first time it is appeared in London. Same condition, there is a formation of this smoke due to nitrogen oxide. Such type of this smoke, these are called as the photochemical smoke. Photochemical smoke. And such type of this photochemical smoke also called as Los Angeles smoke. So London smoke and the Los Angeles smoke. So these are the one question in NEET examination, that is what is the exactly difference between the smoke which is caused by sulfur oxide and the nitrogen oxide. Clear this point? This point is clear? This point is clear, everyone? Okay, chalo. Now we are talking about what is the exactly harmful effect of that smoke. Definitely smoke, it is not good. When we are talking about that is classical smoke. So classical smoke, it is classical smoke consists of some component, and that component nothing but primary pollutant. And I hope you remember in last class we discussed some example of this primary pollutant, and under this primary pollutant we are taking example sulfur oxide as well as H2S. These are the example which is come under the primary pollutant, which is mixed in classical smoke. When we compare this point with photochemical smoke, photochemical smoke. So this photochemical smoke, it is consist of secondary pollutant. यहाँ पे क्या present होगा? There is a presence of secondary pollutant, and I hope you remember we just discussed as compared to primary pollutant, secondary pollutant, these are the more toxic, right? And the example which is come under the secondary pollutant, that is ozone, O3, and the another example that is PAN. Okay, peroxyacid nitrate. So there is a no long form of the PAN, so just remember PAN. So example of which is the example of the secondary pollutant. So if we talk about which smoke is more harmful, tell me, these are the classical smoke is more harmful or photochemical smoke is more harmful? Both are harmful definitely, but which is the more harmful? Hmm? Which one is more harmful, classical or photochemical? Yes, I definitely, because photochemical, these are the more harmful because there is an environment of the secondary pollutant like ozone and the PAN. True? Okay, chalo. So we are talking about where this exactly get formed, at which temperature condition. Last point. So when we are talking about the classical smoke basically it is formed when temperature is low. It is formed at low temperature. Okay, low temperature. And when we compare this point with the with the photochemical smoke, it is formed when temperature is quite high, or simply we can say there is a presence of this warm temperature, high temperature or the warm temperature. So they are responsible for the formation of the photochemical smoke. So if this point is clear, how to understand what is the exactly difference between and what is the reaction of sulfur oxide and the nitrogen oxide. Clear this point? Hmm? This point is clear? Okay, Pooja. Chalo. So to be continued with the next point, we are talking about some effect of hydrocarbon and the volatile organic component. So we discussed particulate matter. Second point we discussed, that is what is the exactly effect of sulfur oxide and the nitrogen oxide. Now we are talking about next point, effect of hydrocarbon and the volatile component. So this part is over. Now we are talking about the second part, means next part, that is effect of HC, that is hydrocarbon, and different volatile organic component. Okay, so different volatile organic component. In this point, first of all, we are taking about, there is again hydrocarbon, maybe these are the natural or maybe these are the human made. So we are not taking such an example. We are talking about exactly what is the effect of such type of this hydrocarbon and the volatile component. So first of all, we are talking about the effect of hydrocarbon. What is the effect? Basically, when we are talking about that is first effect, hydrocarbon, it will be responsible for increase the concentration of ethylene. And we know ethylene, basically these are the one hormone which is responsible for the flowering, as well as more specific, these are the called as the fruit ripening hormone, right? Ethylene hormone, which is the gaseous in nature. So when this ethylene hormone, it is due to the hydrocarbon concentration is increased, ultimately there is increase the concentration of this hormone, plant growth hormone, that is ethylene. So ethylene concentration also get increased, and due to such type of this concentration, it is responsible for pre-mature fruit formation, as well as there is a formation of flower, but that flower it is drop early, it's fall down early. So such kind of this effect, these are the showing due to this hydrocarbon to increase the ethylene concentration. Second effect, basically hydrocarbon, I'm writing just HC, okay? Hydrocarbon, it will be showing effect on the peripheral organ like nose, like eyes, as well as some internal, like it will be showing some lungs infection, as well as some throat infection. So again, it is cause effect on the body organs also, like eyes, nose, lung, and the throat. Another one we are talking about ethylene also, these are the responsible for formation of methane gas. So the concentration of this methane gas, it is get increased, and we'll discuss this methane gas. These are the one example of greenhouse gas. And this greenhouse gas, it is cause different effect, and which is the more effect, that is it is responsible for the global warming. So in same chapter we'll discuss in detail how that methane gas, it is responsible for the global warming, because methane gas, it is example of greenhouse gas. So these are the some conditions, these are the effect of this the component like hydrocarbon. But if I'm talking about among these two, which is the more harmful, ethylene is more harmful, or the hydrocarbon is more harmful, or this methane is more harmful? So remember one relation, the methane gas, it is more harmful, it's more harmful than the ethylene. Okay, so these are the effect of some hydrocarbon, that is hydrocarbon, it is increase the ethylene concentration, they will directly affect on the organ also, as well as again it will be involved in the methane formation. And the methane, these are the one type of this greenhouse gas responsible for the global warming. Okay, so clear this point? This point is clear with respect to effects of hydrocarbon, how these are the showing the different effects? Yes or no? Okay. Now, next point we are talking about, that is ये part तो खत्म हो गया, that is hydrocarbon. Next component we are talking about, that is carbon monoxide. हमने इसको कल भी डिस्कस किया था, the effect of this carbon monoxide. Today we are again taking this part. Next component, that is carbon monoxide. Last class also we discussed carbon monoxide, it has 200 times more affinity. 200 times more affinity to hemoglobin as compared to oxygen. Yes, 200 times. So now what happened? There is a formation of some reaction. Carbon monoxide, it is bind with the hemoglobin, And once they bind with the hemoglobin, they form a complex. That complex that is carboxyhemoglobin. There is a formation of one complex that is carboxyhemoglobin complex. And once such type of this carboxyhemoglobin complex get formed, ultimately there is a reduction. They reduce the oxygen transportation. Reduce O2 transport, and due to reduction of this oxygen, ultimately there is a death of organism. So these are that's why we are talking about carbon monoxide. These are the major pollutant, and it is caused the very diversity effect. As compared to carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide is very harmful, and reason is these are the reason. Because हमने देखा था actually these are the one types of the anemia due to carbon monoxide because it's decreased the oxygen level. Okay, now after this carbon monoxide, we are talking about that is the last pollutant, that is tobacco smoke. Tobacco smoke. If I'm talking about this tobacco smoke, just because of this smoking, there is an increased lung diseases 6 times more. There is a chances 6 times more. So first of all, we are talking about the different effects of the tobacco smoking. It will be increase lung diseases. It should be included cancer also. Okay. So this included lung diseases, and lung diseases may be they increase 6 times more. There is a chance of the lung diseases 6 times more. Again, it is responsible for increases the heart diseases also. It is increases certain types of the heart diseases, and if I'm talking about what is the exactly value, so it is responsible, there is 2 times more. And the major cause of the smoking, that is it is increases lung cancer also. And such type of this, if I'm talking about what is exactly times, how many times it's increased the chances of lung cancer, so 10 times. So tobacco smoke, definitely it's caused the very hazardous. These are the one type of this pollutant, and such kind of this scenario with respect to lung diseases, heart diseases, as well as the lung cancer. Okay, so clear this part everyone. These are the some example of the pollutant which is included inside the air pollution. So हमने इसके causes देखे, what is the effect ये भी हमने देखा, what is the different types of this pollutant ये भी हमने देखा. Now we have to focus how to control air pollution. Okay, so these are the types, causes, effect, and the last point of this air pollution we are talking about, that is control of air pollution. So should I continue with the control? Yes. Yes or no? Okay, Hiba. Chalo. So next point we are talking about, that is air pollution control. Write down the title. Air pollution control. How to control? We're taking 2 techniques, and there is a one question from NEET examination. This technique is very important. Huh? First of all, we are talking about the technique which is present, that is ESP, electrostatic precipitator. So first of all, we are talking about that is first technique, ESP, electrostatic precipitator. Precipitator. And remember this point, such type of this ESP, these are the responsible for removal of 99% particulate matter. Particulate matter which is present in air. Okay, so it is responsible for removal of, they can remove the particulate matter approximately 99%. So first of all we have to discuss the mechanism how these are the possible. So हमें एक diagram draw करना पड़ेगा. So please draw diagram along with me. So we are drawing the simple diagram that is electrostatic precipitator. Now what happened? नाम से पता चल रहा है electrostatic. Something is related to electric. It means that we have to provide a charge on particulate matter, and after providing the charge, now slowly that particulate matter it will be removed from the air, and air that is we can obtain the completely clean air. Now first of all we draw the diagram. Okay, in this part we are talking about that is clean air. We obtain the clean air, and in this part we have to pass the dirty air. Dirty air we have to pass through this direction. Okay, so chalo diagram dekh rahe hain one by one. So dirty air to clean air, what is the exactly changes happening? So first of all we are talking about we have to pass dirty air through the instrument that is electrostatic precipitator. So हमने इसको पास किया. So I just draw the particulate matter. So these are some dirty air, and inside this dirty air there is a presence of particulate matter. Okay, so now in this condition we are talking about these are some particles. Now inside the structure there is a presence of some electrode wire. तो यहाँ पे कुछ वायर प्रेजेंट है. 1 2 3, and surrounding this wire there is a presence of something charged. से electron move होते हैं ना in orbital, so you have to show like that. Okay, these are the conditions. So I am writing this name. So this blue color nothing but we are talking about these are the electrode wire who generate the electron. These are electrode wire who responsible for generate the electron. Okay, so ये था first point. We have to generate the electrons. Okay, now what happened? Slowly the air particles they pass through this electrode wire, and such type of this electrode wire they continuously generate the electron. So now what happened? Due to electron, such type of these particles, these are the particulate matter which is present in dirty air. All this particulate matter now they get the charge that is negative charge. So we just draw one line that is it's obtained the charge that is negative charge. Okay, so now here I am talking about that is dirty air, it gets charge. And which charge? That is negative charge. So I am highlighting this point that is negative charge. Okay, now what happened? Second scenario. Such type of this dirty air now pass to the further one. ये आगे आगे pass होता जाएगा. In this condition, there is a presence of some plate that is called as the grounded collecting plate. यहाँ पे हम draw कर रहे हैं some plates. Just one second. So हम यहाँ पे draw कर रहे हैं such type of this plate. 1 plate, 2 plate, 3 plate, your choice. आप कितने भी draw कर दो. Okay, so these are the presence of this plate, and I am giving the name for this plate. This plate nothing but these are called as the that is grounded collecting plate. collecting plates. If we're talking what charge it is present on plate, can you tell me? क्या लगता है आपको कौन सा charge present होगा? What charge present on this grounded collecting plate? Because initially we generate negative charge on dirt particle, on particulate matter. So can you tell me what kind of this charge it is present? Yes, it should be consist of this positive charge. Very good. So write down. It will be has the charge that is positive charge. Okay, so positive charge it is present on this grounding collecting plate. So now what happened? Slowly that dirty air it will be get pass. जैसे pass होगा that dirty air, it will be has the negative charge. So this negatively charged particulate matter, dirty air particles, they get attached with the plates because that dirty particles they has the negative charge and now they attach with the positively charged grounded collecting plate, and once there is a collection, finally there is a formation of the clean air. So such type of this clean air they get passed to the outer side. So just check the condition what is happening. Diagram के ऊपर question नहीं आता, but definitely there is a one question, what is the use and how these are the work. Such technique, these are the electrostatic precipitator. It's generate the electrons. Electrons having the negative charge. So that's why the dust particles or the other particles, simply we are talking about this particulate matter. Particulate matter, they obtain the negative charge. इसको आगे हम pass करेंगे, and now there is another plate. That plate nothing but we are talking about that is grounded collecting plate. That plate it has the positive charge, positive negative attraction. Due to attraction, all the particulate matter they attach with the plate, and now the clean air which is free with the particulate matter it can easily pass towards this outlet. So through the inlet we can pass the dirty air and we finally we obtain the clean air, and approximately 99% particulate matter can be clean, can be removed by this technique. Okay, so these are the first technique which is used to air pollution control. So is this any doubt from the first point with respect to ESP, electrostatic precipitator, how these are the work and what is their function? Everyone, had you clear this point? Yes or no? Okay, chalo, very good. Now, can you tell me if I'm talking about the velocity? अगर हमने इसको पास करना है, we have to pass the dirty air slowly through the electrode wire, through the grounded collecting plate. Can you tell me velocity कैसा होना चाहिए? It should be slow, it should be medium, or it should be high, or there is no any effect on velocity. Can you tell me what kind of this velocity we have to set when we pass this air through plate, when we pass this air through electrode wire? What kind of this velocity? Because it's depend upon the velocity. Very good. That velocity should be slow. Okay. So that velocity should be slow because we have to give the time for the attachment. ऐसे नहीं कि बाबा चलो भर से हवा आ गई उसे भर से चल गई. That is not possible. So we have to allow them to for the generate the negative charge, and as well as we have to allow the time. So that's why velocity should be slow. So easily they can take the negative charge as well as they can bind with the positively charged plate. Okay. So these are the first point with respect to ESP, which is come under the air pollution control. So यहाँ से एक question. Another question we are talking about that is scrubber. Second technique. ये first technique था A. Now we are talking about B. That is second technique, that is scrubber. Scrubber basically these are the technique which is responsible for removal of sulfur oxide gas removal. One question in previous NEET examination. What is the use of this scrubber? Scrubber basically it is used for removal of sulfur oxide gas. Question. Okay, now हम देखते हैं टेक्निक हाउ दिस आर शोइंग द कंडीशन. तो इसका इंस्ट्रूमेंट थोड़ा सा अलग रहता है. We'll draw the structure of that scrubber. Same technique, we have to pass dirty air and we have to collect the what we say purified clean air. Okay, so these are the typical structure of this scrubber. Done. This part is done. Now हम इसको लेबलिंग कर रहे हैं. First of all, we are talking about where this exactly inlet is present. So this one, first part, number one. Sorry, number one, we have to pass the dirty air from this inlet. Okay, number one. So dirty air, it will be entered inside this scrubber, inside this container, and now it will be immediately sprayed all over this container. Okay. Now what happens? Second step, we have to add water plus lime. We have to add water plus lime. And can you tell me what is the chemical name for the lime in chemistry? Lime को क्या कहते हैं? Lime. Calcium oxide or calcium hydroxide? Okay, so definitely it is part of this calcium oxide or calcium hydroxide. So we are taking, that is calcium hydroxide. Such lime or the calcium hydroxide along with water, it should be released inside this scrubber. Third step, what will be happening? There is a certain reaction, and due to reaction, there is a formation of precipitation, that is calcium sulfate. There is a formation of precipitate, that is calcium sulfate. So calcium sulfate, it will be get precipitate at the bottom. Okay, and once they get precipitate, now they release from this outlet. So ये number third step हो गया. So first we have to pass the dirty air. Second, we have to pass the water plus lime. Lime react with the dirty air, and inside this dirty air, nothing but we are talking about, these are the rich with the sulfur oxide. Okay, so this sulfur oxide, it is react with the lime and the water. There is a formation of this calcium sulfate. Calcium sulfate, it is released, it is get precipitate, and finally number 4, we get completely clean air through this uppermost outlet. So I'm talking about this number 4, that is release of clean air. Release of clean air. So see the sequence 1, 2, 3, 4. How these are the happening? Diagram paper again I'm telling, there is no question, but question आता है कि how they are work, what is the function, how they are responsible for removal of the sulfur oxide, and what they use. They use this simply lime. Okay, this point is clear. This point is clear. Is there any doubt with respect to electrostatic precipitator and the scrubber? Yes or no? क्लियर दिस पॉइंट? सिंपल है, बस एक जगह पे पास करना है. नाउ देयर इज अ सर्टेन रिएक्शन एंड देयर इज अ रिलीज ऑफ द क्लीन एयर. दैट्स इट. Okay, Nelia. Good. So is this any doubt? Clear. Okay, Pooja. So these are the some way of the control where we can control the air pollution. But हाँ, सारे particles हम clean नहीं कर सकते. But in your syllabus, these two methods are included where we can remove this particulate matter as well as we can remove there is some sulfur oxide gases. So next point हमने कल भी discuss किया था. From that all pollution point, the important point you have to study the case study. Case study. And now we are taking about Delhi case study. Because Delhi, it is highly polluted air. Not now, but before lockdown, you know, आपने बहुत सारे news भी देखे होंगे. It is highly polluted city. So we are talking about that is how to control vehicular air pollution in Delhi. So first of all, we are talking about case study. Case study in Delhi. And the name of this case study, that is control of vehicular air pollution. Okay, now, so first of all we are talking about some data. ये data actually it is old data, अभी तो इससे ज़्यादा polluted है. That is a different thing. So we have some data approximately in 1990. हमारा birth भी नहीं हुआ था तब, right? So at that time, Delhi basically these are the fourth polluted city all over the world. These are the fourth polluted city. Which one? That is Delhi. And if I'm talking about how much the total number, so in world, total cities, which is most polluted in world, that is number is 41. And out of 41, हमारा number 4th था. Delhi, it has the 4th number. Okay, so that's why the government, जो कोई भी government था, so that government they decided to take the some quick action with respect to how to control that air pollution through the vehicle. So now there is some cases, so they do some changes. So we are talking about what kind of the changes, because fourth polluted city in complete world, it's very high rank exactly. So there is a solution. Number one solution, the government they decided there is a uses of diesel. Diesel changed to CNG. तो जितने भी वहाँ पे buses चलते थे, government buses are there. So that buses diesel, it should change to CNG, and the long form of CNG, that is compressed natural gas. CNG, that is gas. These are the long form for the CNG. So how government take that decision? What is the benefit? So we are talking about that is some benefits of CNG. One question from this benefit. Benefits of CNG. So number one benefit as compared to diesel, these are the very cheap. So we are talking about these are the very cheaper fuel. First reason. Second reason, basically burn efficiency is good. Burning efficiency. These are also good. Again, we are talking about it is cannot transfer into one compartment to another compartment. Means mixing का कोई chance ही नहीं है. So it can't be siphoned. There is no transportation. And the another one, there is a no adulteration. Can't be adulterate. Okay, so due to this reason, Delhi government decided that the bus diesel it should be changes with the CNG, and these are the conditions. Okay, now another important point. ये the first reason, first use, there is a first change with respect to bus diesel. Now, number second, there is a use of low sulfate diesel and the petrol. Use of low sulfate diesel and the petrol. These are the second reason. We have to use the low sulfate concentration because sulfate, we just discussed what is the harmful effect of the sulfate and the sulfate oxide. And the third reason, which is very very important, और यहाँ से बहुत बार क्वेश्चन बना है, that is use of catalytic converter. Use of catalytic converter. So what is meaning of that catalytic converter? We have to discuss this point. Okay. Basically, there is some strictly government said that is each and every vehicle it is have the install instrument that is catalytic converter. Catalytic converter, basically these are the one instrument, and such type of this instrument, these are the made up of this heavy metal. So we are talking about some information about this catalytic converter. Catalytic converter, first of all, these are the one instrument. These are the one type of this instrument. Okay, sound is clear? Sound is clear? Sound is clear? Okay. Chalo. So continue. So first of all, we are talking about this catalytic converter. These are the one type of the instrument. Another condition, this instrument, these are the made up of the heavy metal. These are made up of heavy metal. And in this condition, example under this heavy metal, maybe there is a use of platinum because we know that platinum, it is costly. There is a use of platinum, which is made up of this platinum. Maybe there is a made up of this rhodium. So these are the examples which is included under this heavy metal. So that's why what happened, because of that use of heavy metal, economically, basically these are the quite costly. So these are the costly instrument, or we can say these are the costly metal. But government said that if you want to control the air pollution, you have to install this instrument, that is catalytic converter. So we are talking about what is their function, what is the function of that catalytic converter. Definitely these are the costly because heavy metal use ho raha hai, but it has some good uses also. So what is the function? Is this any carbon monoxide is present? So that catalytic converter, it is converted into carbon monoxide. Okay, so is this any, there is a presence of, if I am talking about there's a carbon monoxide is present, that carbon monoxide is converted into carbon dioxide. So that toxic it is converted into or harmful it is converted into non-harmful because carbon dioxide be toxic hai. But in this condition we can say that is harmful, it is converted into non-harmful. Another condition we are talking about, there is a presence of this nitrogen oxide. That nitrogen oxide, maybe it is converted into nitrogen plus the release into oxygen. Third one, maybe there is a presence of unburned hydrocarbon, HC. There is a presence of this unburned hydrocarbon. It is converted into carbon dioxide plus water. So simply we can say that, is this any harmful molecule? It is converted into non-harmful. Okay, so these are the different, it's very important, that is function of that catalytic converter. Costly hai, but it has this some quite benefit also with respect to how to control the air pollution. Okay, But there is one precaution also with respect when you are using the catalytic converter, because इतना costly है, because it is made up of the heavy metal, तो हमें कुछ precaution भी लेना है. And one kind of this precaution, you have to use petrol without lead. The next point we are talking about one note, one precaution when you are using such type of this instrument. And precaution is that is use of petrol without lead. Without lead. Okay, because now what happened if you are using lead containing petrol, so that lead inhibit heavy metal activity. It is inhibit activity of the heavy metal, so it is become non-functional, right? Because this heavy metal now it is a one type of this catalyst. It is one type of this catalyst because it is involved, it's doing some reactions. Carbon monoxide is converted into carbon dioxide. So that's why what happened if you are using any petrol who containing the lead, so that time what happened, such type of this condition, it's inhibit the heavy metal activity. So there is some precautions also. Costly hai, but it's a quite good, beneficial also. But again, it's having some precautions also. So these are the third point with respect to that is catalytic converter, which is one type of this instrument who used to control the vehicular air pollution. Okay, so this point is clear, everyone? This point is clear, yes or no? Yes or no? Okay, chalo. So these are the condition. Now I'm talking about some Euro concept. What is meaning of that Euro norms? So we are talking about one concept that is Euro norms. बस एक नाम देख रहे हैं. We are not taking too much detail. Basically, Euro norms, they decided, because we are talking about that is Euro norm 1 are there, 2s are there. So according to Euro norm second, the sulfur content, they decided one rule. The sulfur content which is present in diesel, so it should be 350 ppm. The concentration of sulfur in diesel, it should be 350 ppm. They give such condition. And the sulfur content which is present in petrol, it should be approximately 150 ppm. So these are the concentration of sulfur when we are talking about this normal condition. When the condition is normal. So normally in case of this diesel and petrol, there is a concentration of sulfur is 350 ppm and the 150 ppm. But in case of this Delhi, special type of petrol and the diesel they prepare, and the sulfur content in diesel and the petrol, these are the only 50 ppm. Okay, so normally if I'm talking, if you are comparing with the other cities, which is the normal environmental condition, so it has the sulfur content in diesel and the petrol, this value is this, right? But when we compare about with respect to sulfur content in case of this diesel and the petrol, but especially in Delhi, because what is the goal? Goal is to control the vehicular air pollution. तो उन्होंने क्या किया? They produce one Euro norms. First भी था, second भी था, अब third भी हो गया है, फोर्थ भी हो गया है, फिफ्थ भी हो गया है, हमने बहुत सब कुछ क्रॉस कर दिया है, बट इट्स ओके. But in case of our syllabus, we are talking about there is one condition, that is according to Euro norm second, the concentration of sulfur in diesel and the petrol, it should be fixed. But in Delhi, there is some goal, there is a to target to control the air pollution, and they decided use of sulfur content, it's only 50 ppm. Can you tell me which costly, petrol is costly या फिर diesel is cost ज्यादा किसकी होती है, पेट्रोल और डीजल? हाँ, किसकी ज्यादा कॉस्ट होती है, पेट्रोल और डीजल? Aman, catalytic converter is mostly for the four wheelers. Petrol, sure. तो अब पता चला क्यों ज्यादा रहती है, because petrol it is contain low amount of the sulfur. That's why as compared to diesel, petrol is quite low. लेकिन बीच में पता है लॉकडाउन में क्या हुआ था, पेट्रोल एंड डीजल की वैल्यू इक्वल हो गई थी फर्स्ट टाइम इन हिस्ट्री. Okay, so these are the reason, that's why petrol is quite costly as compared to diesel. Okay, chalo. So these are the some case study which is in 1990 which is happening in Delhi, and the government they take this some strict action. Okay, chalo. Now after this air pollution, we are talking about next pollution, that is noise pollution. So is this any doubt with respect to air pollution? Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay. So next condition we are talking about, that is number second pollution, noise pollution. ये बहुत इजी है. Noise pollution. Noise something, these are the undesirable high level of the sound. These are called as the noise. तो यहाँ से क्वेश्चन नहीं आता, but we are writing for your school examination. That is undesirable high level sound. Sorry, high level of sound. So such type of the sound, these are called as the noise pollution. Now we are talking about what is the how to measure a noise. To measure a noise, there is a one unit, and that name of this unit, that is decibel. These are the decibel represented by small d and the capital D. Okay, small d and the capital B, that is decibel. These are the unit for to measure the noise pollution. So now we already discussed about approximately the major cause, and that major cause 75% it is noise pollution due to only one condition, that is automobile. So 80% in air pollution, and the 75% there is an involvement of automobile to create a noise pollution. तो ये हम पहले point discuss कर चुके हैं. Now we are talking about some frequency with respect to noise. So अगर आपका sound what we say moderate conversion means जैसे हम बात कर रहे हैं, okay, so if you are having the normal sound, that is moderate conversation. So during the moderate conversation, basically if I am talking about what is the size, what is the sound, so it is having approximately 60 decibel. अगर आपकी आवाज थोड़ी सी लाउड हो जाती है, loud conversation, so it will be having 70 decibel sound. Okay. थर्ड वन, अगर कोई स्कूटर का आवाज है, स्कूटर की आवाज बहुत बड़ी होती है, बड़ी, इट्स क्वाइट, so it has approximately 80 decibel. अगर किसी बस या फिर ट्रक की साउंड है, कोई बस है या फिर कोई ट्रक है, राइटिंग द बस ओनली, so at that time the sound it is approximately 90 decibel. When you are talking about, that is jet aeroplane, jet airplane, so in case of the jet approximately it has the 150 decibel. And finally अगर आप बात करें रॉकेट की, which has very high sound, approximately 180 or the more than 180 decibel. Okay, these are the 180 decibel. So these are the some what we say, that is some sound measurable from the moderate up to rocket. Okay, so these are the some point with respect to noise pollution. Next class we'll discuss about what is the effect of that noise pollution, how to control the noise pollution. And again we discuss about the continue with the water pollution, because water pollution thoda sa large hai, and there is some question it is coming from the water pollution, because in this point we have to discuss eutrophication, biomagnification, because all these are the point coming in water. So if you possible, so please मंडे को हमारी क्लास होगी शायद, अगर टाइम टेबल में होगा तो. So जैसे कल एग्जाम हो जाएगा, read the 2 points. If you possible, read the water pollution from NCERT. Okay, chalo. So for today we stop here. Further part we will discuss in next week. Okay, and the good luck for your exam. Questions अच्छे से read करना. Pedigree है. Please think when you solve the pedigree question. Please cancel the option. Clearly read carefully what is meaning of this autosomal recessive disease, X-linked recessive disease, क्या dominant disease कौन से, etc. etc. Okay, because confusion होगा, definitely होगा. Color blinds also there. Yeah. Chalo. So we'll meet you next week. Yeah. Thank you. Teacher day आज. Yeah, Tanisha. Okay, chalo. Thank you so much. Bye bye.